They ignored the fact that you got chartered flights because of this girl. They ignored the fact that ratings were going through the roof because of this girl. Instead, they resented it because they said, yo, we were doing stuff long before Caitlin Clark got here, and y'all wasn't paying attention then. But now the young white girl comes along and y'all want to sit up there and shower all of this praise and all of this attention that was earned before she ever came along. The resentment is understandable, but it's not about Caitlin Clark. It's about what she represents. My point is, grow up.
Just when it seemed like the WNBA was finally finding its footing, poised to cash in on Caitlin Clark's meteoric rise to real mainstream attention and major revenue, the league managed to derail itself. And that derailment has a name: Caitlin Clark. The WNBA's single biggest driver of viewership has now officially been sidelined with an injury.
The Indiana Fever announced that star Caitlin Clark will be out at least 2 weeks with a left quad strain. Clark reported some pain in her leg Saturday after the team's loss to the New York Liberty. She subsequently underwent an MRI and was diagnosed with the strain on Monday.
Basketball fans are officially losing it. Talk shows are unraveling, and Stephen A. Smith? He's basically floating from pure rage, furious at the WNBA bullies, at Commissioner Kathy Engelbert, and especially at Angel Reese, who still seems to believe people are tuning in for her too. If you're riding with Stephen A. on this one, drop baby goat over baby giraffe in the comments. Let's go. Clark was last season's WNBA Rookie of the Year and earned first-team All-WNBA honors. Through 4 games this year, she's putting up 19 points per game and a league-best 9.3 assists. And honestly, I couldn't care less about that last part. The assists, the scoring averages, I already know she can hoop. She's different. She's special. What actually matters is something someone tweeted at me earlier today, and I want you to see it. Put the tweet up on the screen. 4th Gen Bucci asks, Stephen A., can the WNBA survive while CC, Caitlin Clark, is out? Caitlin Clark, the player who turned women's basketball from something only your ultra-competitive cousin watched into must-see television, is now sidelined with a quad strain. At least 2 weeks. Too long. Clark-less weeks where the WNBA will pretend everything is fine while the product crumbles faster than an Angel Reese layup. Now, imagine this.
Fanatics also reported a 100% increase in sales for WNBA-specific merchandise. It started with Caitlin Clark. And so now that we know all of this, and we've known that for months, now we get to turn around and look and see what exactly is it that the league will do knowing that she's out for the next 2 weeks. I'm not saying I know for sure what's going to happen, but I have an idea.
When Indiana came to town, for different teams literally shifted their home games to larger arenas just to fit the crowd. And make no mistake, that was because of Caitlin Clark. The proof is in the numbers. League-wide attendance jumped nearly 50% last season. Indiana led everyone, averaging 17,035 fans per game, an eye-popping 319% increase from the year before. Now, let's really break this down. Games featuring Caitlin Clark this season are averaging about 1.178 million viewers. Games without her? Just 394,000. That's not a decline. That's a free fall. Viewership drops by nearly 3 times. A complete crater. And yet you still have players like Angel Reese questioning why Clark gets more screen time. Maybe it's because Caitlin doesn't handle the ball like a bowling ball and actually gives people a reason to tune in. We'll see how this plays out. We don't know yet. But I'll tell you this, I'll be watching very closely, Molly, to see what kind of impact this has on WNBA ratings. Because if there's a sharp drop, then everyone needs to pause and admit what's been obvious all along. The idea that Caitlin Clark is the league's golden goose isn't speculation, it's reality. Stephen A. didn't just wake up angry one morning. This frustration has been building for months, watching the WNBA repeatedly fumble golden opportunities. He's seen Cheryl Swoops throwing shade like a beach umbrella, acting as if Clark wasn't the one dragging the entire league into the spotlight. And of course, Reese couldn't help herself, turning every moment into what looks like an audition for America's next jealous teammate.
Unfortunately, though, The celebration in the WNBA, it was cut short yesterday afternoon as WNBA players learned the harsh lesson: be careful what you wish for. Headline at the New York Post. Caitlin Clark sidelined with Indiana Felines announcing shock injury. Keyword: shock. This injury was shocking, but not for reasons that you may think.
You push back, Caitlin, and here's the issue. If you're going to break a record, and you want it to truly count, then it should be done in the same amount of time as the player who set it. If Kelsey Plum established that record over 4 years, then Caitlin should have broken it in 4 years too. But with the extra COVID year, and then another added season, she's effectively had more time. So the question becomes, is the record really broken in the purest sense? Then there's Commissioner Kathy Engelbert, whose entire Caitlin Clark strategy can basically be summed up as, thanks for the ratings, I guess. It's like stumbling upon a genie and using your wish to ask for a slightly bigger bottle. Now that Clark is sidelined, Stephen A. is essentially shouting, "I told you so," from every rooftop, and honestly, he's earned the right. I've noticed that whenever Caitlin comes up, you make a point to mention other rookies too. And sure, no league can ever be about just one player. Injuries happen. Anything can happen. But the reality is, fans tune in for compelling storylines and real rivalries, and one person alone can't create all of that. He even dropped a bit of old school wisdom. If this is the magnetic force pulling viewers into the WNBA, and her absence proves it, then everyone needs to stop resisting and ride the wave. Translation? Stop fighting the inevitable. Caitlin Clark is the show. Either get on board or get left behind, stuck in half-empty arenas with fans wondering where all the excitement went. And the resume keeps growing. She became the first rookie to post at least 25 points, 5 assists, and 5 rebounds in a playoff game. That was Caitlin Clark. She also became just the 4th rookie ever to play all 40 minutes in a playoff game.
Clark was the WNBA's Rookie of the Year last season and a first-team All-WNBA selection. So far, she's averaging 19 points and a league-leading 9.3 assists through 4 games this season. I could give a damn about that last part. I don't care about her leading the league in assists. I don't care about the points that she's averaging because I already know that the young lady can ball. She is special. What I'm interested in is what somebody tweeted me and asked about earlier today that I want to show you right now. Put this tweet up, please, so our audience can see it here. At 4th Gen Bucci, B-U-C-C-I, right? Stephen A. Smith. Can the WNBA keep itself afloat while CC, as in Caitlin Clark, is out?
That was all her. And when you look deeper, the evidence only gets stronger. Last season alone, the league had 6 different television partners, and every single one of them set a record for its most watched WNBA game of the year. Want to know what those games all had in common? They all featured the Indiana Fever, because they featured Caitlin Clark. Let's rewind, because the build-up to this mess has been a textbook example of league mismanagement. Clark's very first game this season against the Sky pulled in a staggering 2.7 million viewers, the most watched WNBA game ESPN has ever aired. A debut so massive it even caught the NBA's attention. That wasn't luck. That was the arrival of a once-in-a-generation star. And she didn't show up empty-handed. She brought ratings, eyeballs, and jersey sales that outpaced nearly half the league combined. So, how did the WNBA respond? Did they embrace her? Roll out a full-blown marketing push? Nope. Instead, we got bland, cookie-cutter press releases, so generic they might as well have been written by Angel Reese herself.
Ask me about Caitlin. If you're going to break a record, to me, if it's legitimate, you have to break that record in the same amount of time that that player set it.
Okay.
Right? So if Kelsey Plum set that record in 4 years, well, Caitlin should have broke that record in 4 years. But because there's a COVID year, then there's another year, you know what I mean? So she's already had an extra year to break that record. So is it truly...
The next few weeks won't just prove Stephen A. right. They'll expose what kind of league the WNBA really is. One that protects and elevates its stars, or one that lets them take hits and fade away while the moment slips through its fingers. If you agree with Stephen A., drop baby goat over baby giraffe in the comments. Like, subscribe, turn on notifications, and click the video on screen. We'll see you in the next one.